Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Glitched Velocity. I'm your host Wazahat, and today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use 2D overlays as an input box in CopperCube 3D game engine. There are many times when we want our players to input some text in our games like username, password, and in chat lobbies so that they can send text messages and shout boxes and many more. So with the help of this extension that I'm going to showcase in this video, the extension name is editable text overlay. We can simply convert any 2D overlay into an input box. And by the time I'm recording this video, you will see that on my 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙪 page, we have this version 1.3 for this editable text overlay behavior. But when I upload this video, you will be able to download version 1.4 that I'm going to showcase in this video. I will provide the link for this behavior in the description down below, or you can simply visit my website 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙪 page wazahat.𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙪 and download the extension from there. And by the way, there is also this behavior already available to download from official Ambera website, but it is the version 1.0 I think for the behavior editable text overlay. So if you want, you can go ahead and download this extension as well, but I recommend you to download the latest version from my 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙪 page. And there is this edit box behavior as well by Nicholas himself, which is very basic for convert your 2D overlay into an input box, because there are many features, or you can say advanced features, that has been included in the editable text overlay behavior while they are missing in the edit box behavior. And I'm gonna show you what are these features that has been included in the new editable text overlay version and what has been missing in this edit box overlay behavior. So you can see on my desktop, I have this editable text overlay.ccb file, which you will get with the extension. It comes as a sample test file, and I'm going to open it. Let me just maximize it. As you can see, I have a bunch of different overlays here. You can see some are gray and the last one is blue, and they all have the same behavior attached to them. I mean, the gray ones have the same behavior while the last one has different behavior attached to it. So they all have the behavior editable text overlay version 1.4. And let me just move this property panel to here. And you can see there are a bunch of different properties here, like text. We can input the default text that has been shown on these overlays when the game starts. Then we have variable name. We can save the text into a variable. Then we have text cursor that will blink whenever an overlay is activated or it is available to edit. Then we have some booleans, or you can say checkboxes here, like hide if completed, which has been applied to this second overlay. So that whenever you are done editing the overlay, it will automatically hide the overlay. Then we have enter to stop editing. So there are multi-line support for the text input. By default, whenever you press enter, it will switch to the next line instead of completing the text or stop editing the text. So if you have this option checked, then instead of moving to the next line, it will simply make the overlay uneditable, which means it will complete the editing of the text overlay. Then we have clear text after editing. So whenever you have this option enabled, then it will automatically remove the text from the overlay and it will clear the overlay. And you can use it for various purposes, like whenever you want to send messages in a lobby, multiplayer lobby or something else, then you can use this option. You can check this, and whenever you can write your message into the overlay and then hit the send button, it will save the value into a variable and send that to the server while the main input box will be cleared. So this is very useful in that case. And then we have edit only once option, and then that you can check, and it will make the overlay editable only once. So if you are editing the overlay and if you are done with the editing, then it won't get activated again whenever you click on that overlay. Then we have edit with variable only. If you have this checked, then you won't be able to activate the overlay with the mouse click. It will only be triggered with the variable. And if I go to the root scene node here, then you will notice that I have two behaviors attached here. One is for when a key is pressed to something for the F key, and one is for the E key, but they both have the same action attached to it, like set or change a variable. And we are changing a special variable here with the hashtag edit dot the overlay name. So this one is editing the overlay 2. So it will make this overlay 2 editable whenever we are pressing the F key, because we are setting this hashtag edit dot overlay 2 variable value to true. So you can use this special variable just like when we use hashtag player.health, hashtag player.damage, hashtag sound volume. So like those special variables, you can use this hashtag edit.overlay to or whatever the overlay name you have. Then we have this E, and in this here we are, let me just remove this. This is unnecessary. And in this here we have this set or change variable, and we are changing overlay 4 here. So whenever we press the E key, we are going to edit this overlay 4, which is going to be this second overlay. And each overlay has this same behavior attached to it, but with different settings. So if you see here, if I select the first one, it has no boolean checked, and it reads the text, click me to edit. And if I go to the second overlay, it says box will be hidden when you are done editing. And there are some check boxes selected, like hide if completed and editable on a start. So whenever the game starts, this overlay will be editable. And once we are done editing, which means if I click outside the overlay, then it will become invisible. This overlay will automatically hide. Then we have third overlay, which has press F to edit me. And we have edit with variable only option selected, which means whenever we press the F key, we are going to edit or input text in this overlay. Otherwise, we will not be able to edit this with the mouse click or something like that. So we have to press F key in order to edit this particular overlay. Then we have this fourth overlay here, which says try typing something. And we have this editable on start selected here, which means whenever the game starts, this overlay will be editable by default. So we have two overlays with the same editable on start property selected, which means when the game starts, they both will receive the input from the keyboard. Then we have this fifth overlay, which has you can edit me only once, which means we will be able to edit this overlay only once because it has edit only once option selected. Then we have sixth overlay, which has no boolean checked, but it has this variable name blue here, and it reads whatever you write here will be shown in the blue overlay because the text will be saved to a variable. So whatever we write in this overlay or whatever input we give to this overlay, it will get saved as a variable named blue. And in this blue overlay, we have this behavior attached. Every few seconds, do something. And we are changing the text of this 2D overlay with the value of this blue variable. You can see we have blue encapsulated in dollars here, which means we are going to show value of this variable blue on this particular overlay. And we are going to do that every 1 millisecond. So whatever value or whatever input we will give to this overlay is going to show on this blue overlay. Then we have this seventh overlay here, and it reads, it will stop editing when we press enter. And this enter to stop editing option is enabled here. And what this will do is whenever we press enter while editing the text or giving input to this overlay, instead of switching to the next line, it will complete the editing or make the overlay uneditable. Same as like if we click outside this overlay, it will simply complete the editing. Then we have this eighth overlay here, and it reads text will be cleared when you are done, which means whenever we input something, if I write hello, and if I press my cursor outside this overlay, then the hello will be cleared from this overlay. So because we have this clear text after editing option enabled here. And now let me just test the application so that you can see the results in real time. So let me just go to tools, publishing settings, and in Windows EXE, let me change the resolution to 1920 by 1080 so that it is much more visible and the overlays are not cropped out. So if I use 800 by 600, then the windows will be something like this, and most of the view of these overlays will be cropped out. We will only be able to see 4 overlays. So that's why I changed the resolution to 1920 by 1080 so that we can see the whole view or all of these overlays. And now if I test it by pressing Ctrl F10, we provided with the overlays with the default values printed on them. And you will notice that we have this cursor blinking over here, and we have this cursor blinking over here. And if we go to this project, sample project, and if we select this overlay, then you will notice we have this editable on start enabled for this one. And if we select this overlay, we have editable on start for this one as well. And you can see they both are activated because the cursor is blinking. And you can see my text input here on the left screen. Whatever I press, you will see here in the left corner. And let me press spacebar. You can see spacebar, and you will notice that space has been added to this overlay. And let me talk about some of these features. You can input numericals like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever value you want. And you will notice that it has been input or shown on the overlay. While in the edit box overlay, you won't be able to do that. And the edit box overlay will not show any cursor at the end of the line or the text. And you can also move this cursor with the actual arrow keys or the cursor keys like this. For example, if you made a mistake while writing something, like if I write subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's say I made a mistake here, like if you see here, it reads subscribes, and I want to delete the S, then I can simply move my cursor with the arrow keys to here and press the backspace. While you won't be able to do that in this edit box overlay, it is only available in editable text overlay. So it is a feature that is available in my extension. And you will be able to use both uppercase and lowercase letters. Like if I press shift and write 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘, then you can notice that it has been written in uppercase. And now if I click outside the overlays, like here, then you will notice that particular overlay has been invisible, and we have whatever you write here will be shown in the blue overlay because the text will be saved to the variable. As you can see, it is now visible on this blue overlay. And if I click here, then if I press backspace, then it will clear the text from this overlay as well. While there is no, text input behavior attached to this blue overlay, it is showing as if we are entering the text in the blue overlay, while we are actually entering the text in this gray overlay above the blue overlay. And we are simply showing the value of the blue variable in this blue overlay or the last overlay. I know it's a bit complicated, it sounds a bit complicated, but it is very really easy to understand once you look in the sample file by yourself. So let me just click outside so that it becomes uneditable, and if I try to write something, it won't be entered into this overlay. And let me just select the first one here, click me to edit. It is the basic, simple, behavior without any Boolean. If you go here, then you will notice that it's very simple, basic, without any Boolean. And you can see we have vertical cursor blinking, and you can also change it to something like underscore or question mark or whatever you want. Then it will become, instead of vertical line, it will show that particular text as cursor over. So let's say we want to write something here like this video. If you found it interesting. And if I press enter now, then you will notice it switches to the next line. And I can enter something like, hello, I am Wazahat. And you will notice it is writing in lowercase. And there is also another feature that you can use the caps lock button as well. So you can see caps lock is on. And now if I type anything like, I am an edit box, then you will notice it is totally in uppercase. So that's also another feature of this editable text overlay behavior. And if I click outside, it will become uneditable. And then we have this try typing something 1, 2, 3, 4. And I already told you that it was editable during the start of the game. And we can also edit it again by clicking on it. Then we have this, you can edit me only once. If I click on this, it will become editable. And let's say I write here CopperCube. Let me just turn off the caps lock. And CopperCube is great tool, or you can see game engine. And if I press enter, it will switch to the next line. But if I click outside this overlay, and if I click on it again, it won't be editable because it has this option enabled, edit only once. So it is editable only once. And if I press F, then you will notice this becomes editable. And you will also see it says, hello, I am Wazahat. Hi, I am NA edit box. And Zach, you found it interesting. That's because whenever we are writing this text, we are also using the F key here, like if you found. So we pressed F and it became editable. And we can write anything in here. So whenever we press F, it will become editable. And we can click outside to make it uneditable. Then we have this option here, the overlay, sixth overlay that I have already showcased you. Whatever we write in here will shown on the blue overlay. It is the same basic overlay with the same features as the first one, but it has this variable name blue so that it will store whatever value we write in here in this blue variable, and this blue variable will be shown on this blue overlay. So now we have this seventh overlay with this line. It will stop editing when you press enter. And now if I click on here and writing something like, hello, how are you? And I can use question mark as well. I can use another symbols as well that you will not be able to use with this edit box behavior. It is only available with the editable text overlay behavior. You can use whatever symbols you want, like. So that's another feature of this behavior. And if I press enter, then instead of switching to the next line, it will stop editing. As you can see, the cursor is not blinking. And if I write down anything, it won't show on this overlay. So that's because we have this enter to stop editing boolean enabled for this particular overlay. Then we have nothing on this eighth overlay because we have this option enabled, clear text after editing. So if I click on here, then you will see we have this cursor blinking at the beginning of the screen or beginning of the overlay, and we can write anything that we want in here. So let's say subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And if I click outside, it will be cleared out because we have this option enabled. So whatever we write in here, and if we click outside, it will be gone. So you can save it to a variable, then click outside or click on a send button, and it will send the variable value to the server so that it can show the messages in a multiplayer lobby, chat lobby, or shout boxes or something like that. So in those cases, it will be very useful. You can also create a login page, like you can use username or password or something like that. So there are many use cases of this, input box or editable text overlay. While this overlay has been available to download for a long time, but there was no video tutorial for how to use this overlay. I thought that why not create a video tutorial for this, not the overlay, for this particular behavior. I'm sorry if I'm uh, calling this behavior as an overlay because my memory is playing games with me. So you can go to the 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙪 page and download the version 1.4. It has been updated quite a bit. And there was one thing that I want to tell you. So the reason why I updated or why I'm recording this video is because I'm going to, push an update to my very first behavior as well. So if I go to the Ambiera official website for the behaviors and plugins, so if you go here, there you will see cheat behaviors. I think it was the first behavior that I created for the CopperCube game engine, and I have updated it recently with new new code base. And actually there are two behaviors. One is for direct cheat system and one is for console based cheat system, in which you have to type in a 2D overlay. So that behavior is based on this editable text overlay. So it uses this editable text overlay behavior in order to input the cheat code in the console. So that is why I am recording this video first, so that I can record another video for cheat codes. So the chances are high that in the next video I will be talking about how to use cheat codes in your CopperCube game engine. So I think that's all for today's videos. That's how you can use 2D overlays as input boxes and create various systems for your games. Like as I have already told you, like username, for creating username, and any visual novels, and in something else where you want your users or players to input text in your game, you can use this behavior. It also works a bit on WebGL, but I don't know if it will work perfectly on WebGL or not, because I have created it for Windows platform only. So I'm not sure if it will work there on the WebGL version. But yeah, that's all for today's videos. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, then don't forget to subscribe. And you can also download a lot of, other extensions from my 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙀 page. I have recently been, pushing them to my 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙀 page from my website neophyte github. So I am pushing extensions from this website to my h.io page so that you can download them easily, and whenever I push an update you will get a notification. So if you haven't subscribed to my h.io page or follow me there, then I recommend you to follow me there as well so that you can get a notification whenever I push an update or whenever I upload a new extension to my h.io page. So you can say that Neophyte is not going to receive any updates in future, but it is still available to visit and download the extensions or whatever data we have on the Neophyte. So maybe I will update this, API reference in future. Like I have some uh, code snippets here, JavaScript API reference with some examples. You can see it in a color code format. We have syntax highlighting here, and there are more examples than the official documentation, and you will be easily able to use them in your CopperCube game. This one, we have two examples for get child scene node property, and we have CCB get root scene node. Then we have these properties mentioned what you can use, like you can use the gravity, wind, real-time shadows, fog color, ambient light, background color, and post effects like bloom, blur iterations, and many more. So if you want, you can simply visit this website, 𝙎𝙪𝙧𝙘𝙪𝙗𝙚. Hopefully I will provide the link in the description down below for all of these stuff so that you can access the JavaScript scripting API reference. And yeah, that's all for today's video. Meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Hasta la vista. Take care.